game number 4 is getting underway right now, though. We're going to find out. This one's going to be just as quick as the other 3 have been, but, you know, I would like to see them take a little bit more time with their decisions. They've been blistering fast so far.
Yeah, I feel like all 3 games have taken less than 10 minutes, and we're going to see another fast one, possibly from Kranich here.
Now, with the Velens chosen, is this the same build?
I would think this is the one that's that we were talking about that has like Shinjin Sealed Master in it, possibly, but it could be the same build just with. I mean, it does have Dark Cultist in it, and the one that I was talking about doesn't. But you know, Deathlord, he could have maybe this is maybe a weird like combination of the two. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you he's going to get out on the ground first this time, and it's going to be Kranich. Going to be a little bit more patient with it though.
Something you see from a lot of good players sometimes is when they find different versions of decks and they're all good, they kind of just like pile it together and make one like super version of the deck if they can.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't use the coin here for the Pilot Shredder on turn 1. I guess he was just wanted to have the keeper options on turn 3.
And another thing is, Priest does so little without the coin on turn 2 that maybe he thought he could just, he can afford to take a turn off.
I think it's definitely possible. Your future curve considerations are really the big one here. Now the coin actually is going to look like a genius for this because he gets to take out this Deathlord in one swoop.
And there's some big ones for him here.
Yeah, I can tell you that something like Ragnaros would be really bad. I mean, even just Dr. Boom, it'd be a war golem at this point.
Yeah, 7/7s, 5/5s, there's all kinds of big ones. And right now, Superjj doesn't have a Shadow Word Death to take care of something that big.
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
He gets in underneath turn 5 from Kranich here, so he can't do something. I'm sorry, turn 5 from Superjj here, so he can't Holy Nova.
So Dark Cultist is just going to try to do what he can to contest, but that's a pretty gross feeling after your opponents just run over a Deathlord. Easy turn, I think, from Kranich.
You can just run over the Dark Cultist here.
Yeah, you don't want this guy to live.
Oh, do you take the Shade out here?
I don't think so. I think that Shadow Madness is such a powerful card against this board right now. Like maybe if Superjj, maybe if he dropped a 2/2 out of this Pilot Shredder, it would be possible. But the last thing you want to do right now is be opened up to Shadow Madness and then just have a terrible situation afterwards.
And
now I don't mind playing the big game hunter.
Now Kranich is a pretty aggressive player, so I think there's a slight chance that we do see it from him here. But yeah, I was gonna say he might just. I was gonna say there's a chance he just domes for 2 here as well.
Which I don't mind this either. It just. The big deal here is to get another threat on board. So the big game hunter poses more damage, but the Keeper of the Grove lives through a Holy Nova turn.
I would have loved Sludge Belcher here, but drawing the second Holy Nova means that he can take care of these minions next turn as well.
Yeah, which is the big deal.
I wonder if Kranich realizes that.
Well, you got to look at this board and wonder why he'd Holy Nova so fast. And the conclusion to me is that he just has to have another Holy Nova. And again, sitting at 4-2 right now, he's kind of in the same position where if he unveils the Shade, Shadow Madness is still a good card versus him. So I think the Shade is actually just going to have sat here and actually done nothing.
Or if he thinks it's exactly Holy Nova, do you just get the damage in?
If he thinks it's exactly Holy Nova, yes.
Yeah. I think attacking is actually just the better play.
And Superjj is still likely to use Holy Nova here instead of using Shadow Madness.
I don't think you could play the big game hunter here. Yeah.
Ooh, that's an interesting card.
Yeah, Superjj has a lot of ways to deal with minions here.
Light Bomb is so interesting to me because it's so that's some missequencing there.
Yeah, that should have been the first thing that he played this turn because he would have had a 3 power.
Missing 2 power on that guy is I'm going to take that back actually. He may be looking for Kranich to play a 5-drop or 6-drop here and then Light Bomb it away and keep his Light Warren alive. That's a possibility as well. So I actually,
there we go. Yeah.
You can't quite say this is a miss sequence right here. He may just be understanding that there's a chance that he Light Bombs next turn.
Right. And Kranich, he's not happy about having to use this Keeper in this way. It does get him a 2/4 in play and takes care, of the minion there. But you can see it was painful to him to use this second Keeper of the Grove that way.
And a lot of that is the product of the fact that his hand just isn't very good right now.
Right. Well, I mean, he gets to draw 2 more cards next turn. It's not like he's under a ton of pressure like he was in the last game.
Right. 1 turn away, his hand's good, but it's just, that turn 6, he's got nothing to do.
It's funny that we see some games where the Druid has an early Innervate and they don't win because they run out of gas, and then we see the games where their opening hand is like 5, 7, 8, and they easily win the games.
I actually like the attack here from Kranich too, recognizing that if Cabal Shadow Priest gets drawn, he doesn't want to give him a fresh 2/4. Gosh, I've just been calling him like all HPL. This is great.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable this season, you calling cards. I mean, I've got it like once. You've already done it at least 15 times.
15?
More like 12, but who's counting?
Big difference.
Yeah, I mean, not really.
20%. I can see someone on the data team doing that. 20% difference. 20% difference which way, though, if you're going down. I'm going to start with Wrath here, and this is likely to be Druid of the Claw charge, I think. Like, do you want to swipe here instead? I mean, I don't mind swiping, but you end up with one less threat this way, and that's the difference that I'm looking at.
Yeah, Kranich exercising a lot of board control here. We've seen him playing quite a bit of control over the last couple of weeks. You know, he's tended to kill more minions than most other players in the league, so I think he's comfortable just fighting for the board.
Alkanai Soul Priest is going to be the lead here. And then make use out of this 2/2 that you stole. You know, what's it going to do other than kill a 5-power minion? That's about the best you're going to get.
Yep, getting trade, you know, Kranich's own cards for his cards as well here. A lot of card advantage on the side of Superjj, but Kranich just has so many in his hand.
Yep. I'm going to start with Dr. Boom. And Priest isn't a class that has a lot of reach here, so this is becoming a dangerous position for Superjj. You know, he's down 2 Holy Novas. Shadow Word Death would be a great draw here. Light of the Naru is not too bad either, actually. He has to take a little bit of a risk with it, though. Like, the play that I see right off the bat with this is Light of the Naru on the Dr. Boom and then run the Wild Pyromancer in afterwards. It's going to sweep the Boom bots, but your Wild Pyromancer has to live through that.
Yeah, the chances of that are pretty low. It's a high-risk play here for sure. Now, if he attacks with the Wild Pyromancer to start, you have to believe that he's going to Circle of Healing here and just give up on his All-Shine Soapers, but then he just doesn't have any threats left.
Yeah, I can also see using Shadow Madness.
You also just couple it with his hero power as well.
I can see the Shadow Madness here, too. And then, yeah, so you take a Boombot, you run it into the other one, and if you get just, like, what if he just gets major lucky right here?
Oh, one short.
So going to take what he can get. Not too upset with it, and then I agree with him. I think he needs to hold on to this Light of the Naru for as long as he can. You know, once he's used the Wild Pyromancer anyway. Kranich, no shortage of threats in his hand. It is going to keep on coming.
And Light Bomb's going to be able to take care of this board next turn. This turn, he's not going to be able to cast it. And look at this. He can't even really... I mean, he can play a Light of the Naru, but he's using 8 mana coupled with his hero power to do this.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything else to do, though. So the big benefit here is that if Kranich decides to attack this Light Warden, he ends up buying him so much extra health. And so is the time going to be worth it, though? That's the big difference.
Almost lethal here from Kranich, and he can make sure that he gets it next turn with Force of Nature and Savage Roar.
Now, this Light Bomb is going to do some work to this, though. Is dealing 13 points of... I'm sorry.
He's dealing a lot here,
yeah, he's dealing 19 points of damage. This is bad news for Superjj.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to make it lethal next turn with
Savage Roar so good.
The Force of Nature here. Superjj needs a taunt or something to take care of this, and he's not going to get it.
Yep, Circle of Healing does not heal players. And that's going to be enough to end this one. Kranich with a copy of Combo in his hand. Just too much damage at the end of the day. That Lothab preventing a potential Light Bomb on that one turn.
Yep,
that bought him enough time.
Yeah, just got him enough tempo here to get through this game and win. And that is going to spell the end of the season here for Superjj. He's got another match or 2 left, but he can no longer make the playoffs here.
Yeah, just been a rough season for him so far. And, you know, a couple missteps here and there have cost him a little bit more than I feel like they typically cost you in Hearthstone. But that's sort of the name of the game. You know, the mistakes at times will be backbreaking, and at times they don't really mean as much. And that's why it's important to be on top of it all the time.